Hello, EveryStem members. You are my flower people, and I am so happy to be adding this new introduction to dashboard folders for you. This is something we've been working on for a little while, and we are super excited because this includes several features that EveryStem members have been asking us for. This includes some really cool features like being able to pin some of your favorite templates or upcoming events to your dashboard. And it includes folders and subfolders. Plus, it includes a more advanced search capability. So we're going to go over all those things today pretty briefly. If you have questions, as always, when you get into your account and you start navigating this new dashboard, please let me know because we love your feedback. EveryStem is about making your work life a little bit more streamlined and a little bit easier for you. So don't be shy about letting us know what we can do to make this software and this system better for you. All right, let's get right into this new beautiful dashboard you're seeing on your screen. We still have our upcoming events and our previous events. We are focused on the events that are coming up, the ones that we need to order for, that we need to finalize, that we need to update pricing on. And so those are at the top. But you can now pin your favorite events up to the top of that upcoming section. Our previous events are still valuable to us though, because we can copy those events and we can save recipes from those events and we can repurpose those recipes. Let's take a look at some of the buttons at the top of the screen. We've added a few buttons here to this dashboard, but it is still very simple and easy to navigate. As I say to every new member that I interact with and every member of EveryStem who is feeling like they need some help learning how to use the software, the buttons at the top of the screen are all very easy to click on, see what modal pops up, and learn a little bit about how those buttons work. There are no hidden buttons, there's nothing down at the bottom of the screen, and there's not a lot of layers of buttons. So go ahead and click on different buttons and see how this new dashboard works. We have the Library Item Updates button. This is the button that you are going to use to be able to update your most recent library pricing or information on any item in your library. You click on a few events. Then you click on this button and it will update the pricing automatically into these events. So you do not have to update pricing on each individual event. You can update it once in your library, pricing, item information, and then all your fall events or all your season's events, you can click on those and click this button and your pricing will automatically be updated. Consolidated Export button, you're going to be able to click on multiple events that you have for the same week. It will combine all of those orders into one large order, making it the most efficient considering the bunches and how many stems each recipe or each event needs. And it's going to give you a great export that you can use, and it will break that information out by event. You can also use this feature by month or by season to order hard goods. This is such a great way. When we order our hard goods in bulk, we save a lot of money. One of our EveryStem members told me last year that she saved over $300 just by using the consolidated export for her season's worth of glassware and hard goods. So I highly recommend that you consider putting your supplies into your events and using the consolidated export button to consolidate a month's worth or a season's worth of hard goods. And if you use the vendor name supplies for all your hard goods, they will all appear under that same vendor name. These hint bubbles are here to give you some description. You can pop right over to this little hint bubble and it will give you a quick overview. We also have our help, support, and resources. This is where you can find the EveryStem knowledge base. It is chock full of articles that can help you not only with EveryStem, but with your floral design business. It is broken out with retail and event florists. It has great tools. It has some community information about our community of floral designers. So please be sure to go check that out. And then our additional YouTube videos. You're watching this one right now, but if you have questions about the library item updates or the consolidated export or any other EveryStem feature, you can go into the YouTube videos and search for what you're looking for, and it will pull up that video. Now, let's talk about this amazing set of folders that we have here. Because not only do we have folders, but we also have subfolders. So the beautiful thing here is that you can think about how you want to organize your events. Let's take a look at our weddings folder. I have corporate, hotels. If I look at my hotels, I've done some events for Omni Barton Creek for their hotel, and I've done some things for the Four Seasons for their hotel. Now, you can break this out however you want. If you have restaurants that you work with, if you have certain clients that you work with on a regular basis, when I had my full flower shop, retail flower shop, I would have broken this out with particular clients that I worked with on a regular basis. I had several clients who every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every time they had a book event, I did a lot of the same things. They were very particular about their designs, and they liked a certain color palette, and they liked certain style in their home. So I would have created folders for each of those clients. Now, if you're a wedding florist and you're a solo entrepreneur, you're doing your own weddings, you don't have a lot of other lead designers or team members on your team, you can break out your folders in process, weddings that have been completed, weddings that are being, inquired by the client, proposals that have been sent for future weddings. You can have your venue templates. I have a folder with several venue templates. So we can say I've got my Wildflower Center, my Four Seasons, and my Allen House. These are all templates that I've created because at those venues, I tend to do a lot of the same designs, and I've got them already laid out, so I can just use the copy feature, which copies this template and everything that's already in it, and I can just create a order very easily for a client. You can create these and have subfolders up to 3 subfolder levels deep. But if you set this up and you don't love the way it looks, you can edit. So let's say, for example, I'm looking at this and I'm saying I have 2025, 2025, 2024. So my year is the first thing in my folder. But when I created this proposal sent folder, I put the date at the end. And I wasn't really thinking about that. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on it a second time, and it will open the edit folder modal. So I can go ahead and say, I really want this to say 2026 weddings proposal sent. And I don't want a dash there. I'm kind of particular. I just want everything to be very similar. My parent folder is weddings. If I wanted to adjust that, if I had another subfolder that was 2026, I could put it in there, but I'm just going to leave it in weddings. And I'm going to submit. Now that's a little bit lower. I've been doing a lot of proposals for 2026, but it's below my client inquiry. I might want these folders in a different order. So I'm going to click on weddings, and then you can see that I can reorder, drag to reorder. I can reorder these folders. So maybe since I'm sending a lot of proposals for 2026, maybe I want that at the very top. And then I have my 2025 in process weddings. 2025 is coming to an end. I only have a few more weddings this year. I'm going to go ahead and put that next. And then my venue templates and my 2024 completed weddings is at the very bottom. Now, 2024, let's say this was my first year in business. I only had a few weddings. But how nice is that to see the only weddings that I finished in 2024 in their own folder. And I know those are all weddings that I've completed and I did. And now if I want to look at the profit summary of those, if I want to export those and do a little bit of math to figure out how much my average profit margin was, I have them all right there to do that work with. I think it's really cool. I do want to tell you, if you are a floral business who has several lead designers that are working in your business, you can break these folders up into lead designer categories. So, for example, what I would do is add a folder and I would put it under my parent folder of weddings. And I would say, for example, when I had my flower shop, Verbena, I had myself, so Luann Weddings, and I'm going to submit that. And then I'm going to add a folder. One of my main designers' name was Devin, and she also did weddings. So I'm going to say Devin Weddings. And we're going to make sure that that's under the main weddings category. And then we also had another designer named Cindy, and she did a lot of weddings also. And we liked to divide out our weddings by who was available on what day, so that way the client experienced continuity from the beginning of meeting with the designer all the way through to the wedding day and the delivery. Now, that's not always possible. Sometimes we had to trade or shift, and we always made sure that our clients knew that they were taken care of no matter who was handling the wedding. We were a team working together. But in general, that did help a lot. Now, if you're a team and you don't specify who's in charge of what wedding, you do it more as a collective. I've freelanced recently for some florists that run their businesses that way. Then, you can organize this however you like. You could put spring weddings, fall weddings, winter weddings, summer weddings, however you want to divide this out. We're going to make sure that the category here is the weddings category. And we're going to do that. So now I've got my 3 different categories, and I know that I can make subfolders below these as well. So I could make subfolders for some of these categories under my name as well. And it might be each year. We might have Cindy Weddings 2025, Devin Weddings 2025, Luann Weddings 2025, and then a new folder for 2026 and so on. You can also pin, as I mentioned, your favorites to the top. So you can click on pinned, you can click on previous, you can click on upcoming, and then you can click on any of your categories. So under retail, I have my Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. Under corporate, I have my main corporate client, McCombs School of Business at University of Texas. This is basically very similar to your email folders. So it should feel very comfortable. And you can always move your events into each folder. So let's take a look. I've got all events here. And I know that I want to go ahead and put my upcoming UT McCombs Spring Fling into that McCombs folder. Click on McCombs, Event, click on Move Events, and then I'll just find the folder that I want it to be in, and I will click Submit. And now you can see that my new Spring Fling event is inside of there. So this is just a really great way to start to organize. You don't have to have that run-on dashboard of lots and lots of events. You're going to be able to organize these into your folders. So we've got Add Folder. That's going to be adding a new folder. You select the folder you want it to go underneath. That's a parent folder. So let's say we wanted the Retail Valentine's Day or Mother's Day to be the parent folder. And then below that, I want to have Custom Valentine's Day Events, because I've done events for several restaurants and hotels for Valentine's Day, and they're not really retail, but I want them to go under my Valentine's Day events because I want Valentine's Day to be all together. So now when I add those events, I can go ahead and put them in that folder. Adding an event is still the same. That's creating a new event, putting in the event name, the description, the date. Now, you can add it to the folder. So you can pick the folder you want to add this new event to as you're creating the event. You don't have to move it later. So if you're starting with folders, go ahead and think about how you want to build out your folders. You can assign it to a folder, and then when you click submit or submit and open, it will go ahead and assign that event to that folder. Now, if you've already created an event, this is my McCombs 2026 event. I haven't done any recipes for it yet, but I can see that that is in the folder name McCombs School of Business UT. So if you're working in an event and you're like, oh, did I assign this to the right folder? Have I put it in a folder yet? You can see it right here inside your event details button. Click on event details. You've got your event name, description, date, and of course your markups, and then what folder it's in. We're back at our dashboard here. You're going to click on the event, and then if you wanted to move it, we could move it to a different folder. Now let's say you want to delete a folder. You went ahead and created a folder and maybe there's nothing in it, or you have a couple of events in it. You can go ahead and move those events to a different folder and then delete using the trash can icon right here. Let's say we deleted this McCombs School of Business folder. So let's say we are now looking for the events that were in that folder we just deleted. We search for the word McCombs, and we will see that all of our events are still in our dashboard. They have not been deleted. If a folder gets deleted, the events inside that folder go to the All Events folder. They will not be erased. The only way you can delete an event is by actually clicking the trash can on the event itself and choosing to delete that event. So don't worry about that. That is not an issue. But if we clear that out and we look, let's say, under our 2024 completed weddings, let's say that for these events, we've decided we want to just delete this folder. We can move these events. We can click on them. We can choose to move them to a different folder first, and then we can delete that folder. Don't forget that you can reorganize by double-clicking on the folder itself, and then all the subfolders under that folder can be reorganized. You just click to drag. So if I want this in a different order than alphabetical, I could say I want Luann, then Devin, then Cindy. We can do it that way. Let's quickly talk about the new search feature. The search feature is cool. Let's say you're in the pinned folder and you're looking for an event that you thought you pinned, but you don't see it. And you know that you had a special installation in this event that you've been using a lot as a base recipe for some other events. The word installation. And all of your events with the word installation will pop up. It's not only going to search those pinned events, it's going to search all of your events. The other thing is, if you've got a series of words here, our previous search feature would only search for words in the consecutive order. But now we can find words that aren't in consecutive order. So there's a little note up here, a little hint that says use commas between your keywords. Now, if we're looking for, let's look at this bottom one down here. We have spring and we have broken arch. So let's say we're looking for spring and broken. That event will come up in the search. So the search is just a little bit more intuitive. You can put in words separated by commas, and you'll be able to find those events very easily. We also have an advanced search. So if you're looking for something within a certain time frame, you can enter the start date and the end date, and then you can search as well. All right, flower friends, that's it for the new dashboard updates. I hope you find the folders, being able to pin events, and our new search box really helpful.